Perfect. Welcome back, boys and girls. This is our session 8. Today, we're working with the ethical use of the artificial intelligence. So, is the AI a tool or is it a threat? Let's find out in today's class. But first, but first, I want you guys on the chat just to uh, answer this question. If you had to write a 500-word essay tonight, would you use ChatGPT? Why or why not? Type your answers in the chat. Please, no more than 2 sentences. Short answers, no more than 2 sentences on the chat, please. If you had to write a 500-word essay tonight, would you use ChatGPT? Why or why not? Let me know in the chat. No, I prefer to do it by myself. Maybe, but should I? Yes, but only principal ideas, not the entire work. That's a good take. You see, who else? For those joining on the chat, no more than 2 sentences. If you had to write a 500-word essay tonight, would you use ChatGPT? Why or why not? In the chat, please. Let me read your points of view. Today we're working with the ethical use of artificial intelligence. Let me read. To remember some words that I have forgotten. Yes, I do that often. I do that more often than you think. Yes, that way I could type quickly and have the AI automatically correct my sentences or give me ideas. Junior says I wouldn't. I'd rather do it myself. Jason says I used to use it only when I need to be really sure that I wrote everything okay. Luciana says sometimes I use it when I'm in a hurry. Okay, fair answer, fair answer. So guys, let's talk about this. What will we learn today? First, understand what academic integrity means in the context of AI. Identify ethical and unethical uses of AI in academic writing. Make informed decisions using real-world scenarios, and reflect as future teachers on responsible AI use. Because yes, the question on the first slide was for you as a person, would you use AI? But then with the contents we're going to work with today, I want you to internalize the question and understand as a future English teacher, or if you're currently working as an English teacher, what do you consider to be a responsible use of AI? What's, let's say, the limit that you would establish as an English teacher for the use of AI? So that's extremely important to bear in mind for today. Now, first thing, what is academic integrity? It has to do a lot with moral and ethical values. Let's talk about this. Plagiarism, using someone else's work without credit. This is contemplated if you, I wish you had the chance to read, and you should, by the way, to read the university's rules about regarding evaluations. Let me just tell you an example. I used to work at the UPEL. I started working there in 2012, I believe it was. I started working in 2012 as a university teacher at the UPEL, or later, I think it was 2010. Long time ago. Long time ago. I was still in the country. And I was in the semester, I was in charge of a subject called Grammar 2. It doesn't exist anymore, but I was in charge of Grammar 2. And that subject, one of the contents was the writing of argumentative essays. If you have ever written an argumentative essay, you might know that it requires a lot of reading from you, knowing about the topic you're writing, because you're supposed to give your point of view about a given topic and give me your arguments, why you are against the topic, why you are in favor of a topic. Explain your reasons. So it requires a lot of reading for you to get ready, and of course, great writing skills. I had already given my students like the structure, and it was different back in the days. It was not like I do with you guys. Like I give you an assignment for today, and then you have to hand it in next Saturday. Back in the days, you had to give it like in 2 days, or sometimes the very same day. For that assignment, I had given them 2 days. It was the final assignment. I remember 25 points. And I clearly had told them, do not copy and paste content from the internet, because it's really easy to find when you copy and paste something from the internet. If you do that, the evaluation rules from university specifically say that that is intellectual theft. That is plagiarism. And if you do that, you lose the grade and you don't have the chance to repeat the evaluation. That is what the rule says. So please be careful with that. When the time came, two students whom I knew they didn't have good writing skills, they present me this amazing piece of writing. Their essays were so perfect that I even found words that they were so advanced. Like, what this person, there's no way this student knows this word. And to find when someone copies something from the internet is really easy. You just copy some of a sentence, you paste it on Google search, and it shows you where. Well, it happened that those students had copied something from the internet. I printed the web page with the original article that the students had copied. I stapled it to their test, and 0. I gave them back the evaluation and I told them, according to rule, no, I can't remember the article now. According to the article, regarding plagiarism, you lose your 25 points and you don't have the chance to repeat the evaluation. Period. Period. And I'm talking, those were students from the 6th semester, grown adults. One of them was older than me. I was 28, let's say. I was 28. And she was already in her 40s. So it was not a little girl to say that, oh, it's a teenager who made a mistake. So They were surprised and teacher, no, please, please help me. No, no, I was clear. The rules are clear. They even went to talk with the head of a department that time, who was, at that time, it was Professor Carlos Agüero, then was Professor Abilio Mujica. By that time was Professor Carlos Agüero. They went to talk to him and he told them, hey, I cannot tell Carlos how he should evaluate. And he's right. He's showing you the article from the rules of the university. So there's nothing. So that is plagiarism. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Originality. Showing your own thinking and voice. That is a part of academic integrity. Showing what you really think. You can use AI to, let's say, help you correct your grammar mistakes from your sentences. But you cannot use, or you shouldn't use, AI to have it do your job. That's where is your intellectual production there. Responsible authorship, being honest about what you create. I have told you right at the beginning, there is no way, I don't know anything about design. As you can see, these slides are beautiful. This watercolor or acuarela, like we say in Spanish, this watercolor combination, I love it. So when I gave ChatGPT the idea for your class, I told it, please design the images using watercolor style animations because I love it. So you can see this was created with ChatGPT. But these ideas, plagiarism, these things, they belong to me. I just told ChatGPT what to do. ChatGPT added this picture, this picture, this picture, this little kid. That's what ChatGPT added. But the words are mine. So it's responsible authorship. I recognize, and it's obvious, that I have used AI to create your classes. But, but you need to understand what part of the things you do belong to you and what parts were created by using AI. Thank you, Diana. And for the class that I have with the group later, for the Seminario de Lectura Escritura, I I asked ChatGPT to create the slides based on different animes. So one of the slides is from Bleach, another slide is from One Piece, another one is Kakashi Sensei from Naruto, another slide is Tanjiro from Kimetsu no Yaiba, another slide is Deku from My Hero Academy. So every slide is different. And of course, I didn't do them. I just told ChatGPT, oh, since we are working with this, I think maybe having an image of Kakashi Sensei from Naruto would be great. And I want him to be like pointing at a board. And it created the picture. It was amazing. They are really beautiful. Created by ChatGPT. I gave ChatGPT the idea. ChatGPT created that. That's responsible authorship. Now, yes, a lot of animes. I'm a big fan of animes, Oriana. Now, true or false in the chat, guys? True or false in the chat? Let's go with number one. Just in the chat, you will write T or F. Of course, T for true, F for false. Number one, using AI is not plagiarism because it's not a person. What do you think in the chat? T or F? False, says Ginny. False, false, false. Okay, absolutely right. It's still plagiarism. It's plagiarism. AI, of course, it's not a person. AI is not a person, might sometimes behave like a person, but it's not a person. Although AI researches on the internet and creates the idea, takes the ideas from other real human productions. So presenting AI work as your own is plagiarism. Right now, there's a big discussion. Yes, it's still plagiarism nonetheless, Jesus. There is a big argument, a big discussion about it at the UNESCO about the use of AI, especially because it's evolving so fast. So using AI is, presenting the things you do with AI as your own, it's plagiarism. It's plagiarism. Now, number two, I can copy from ChatGPT if I change a few words. True or false? False, false. Uh-huh. Exactly. You can copy from ChatGPT, but you have to make it clear, and I will show you how. You have to make it clear that you took the information from ChatGPT. You have to make it clear that the information was generated using AI or generated using ChatGPT. So remember that, guys. Yeah, second here. Aha. Number three, it's okay to use AI for checking grammar. True or false? Yes, it's absolutely okay. Because when you use it just to check your grammar, you're using it as a tool. In fact, we have been using AI for years and years and years. For example, when you are writing something on Microsoft Word and you made a grammar mistake, it gets marked in red or in green if it's a semantical mistake. That is AI recognizing the error. And then you check it. So we have been using AI for years. The difference is that now you can write a whole essay, throw it into ChatGPT, and tell it, please, would you please check the errors and style on my essay? That's different. Even there is an AI chatbot that can help you with that. Exactly. Exactly. So using AI for checking grammar. Let me show you an example. Let me quickly open. Apart from working with UPEL, I also work with a Mexican university called the Baden-Powell Institute. It's, of course, an online university. And I work with different subjects. One of them is called Semántica del Inglés. And let me see if I can show you. I was commissioned to create the content of some subjects. Let me stop sharing this for a second. And let me show you this. This I created with the help of ChatGPT, with the help of ChatGPT. It's not that ChatGPT did everything. This is one of the subjects I created, Docencia de las Habilidades Integradas. It's also for future, well, in this case, not future English teachers, because they can be English teachers, they can be translators. It's a different career, but they see similar subjects. So I created the content of this subject. Let me show you what I did when one of the contents was generated by ChatGPT. Let me show you. Let me see if I can find one. But all of this, you see, of course, I make the correct quotes. This is not mine. This is these authors. This was taken from Oxford. This is at the Manual UPEL as well. So But the thing is, let me see if I can find one generated by ChatGPT so that you can see how, here, for example, in the references, look at this. Is there anyone that I created with ChatGPT? Cambridge, Vygotsky. Not this one, but maybe in the second one. In the references, whenever I created something with ChatGPT, I said it. For example, here, manuscrito no publicado o documento en poder del autor. Because this document is not on the internet. I have it on a PDF and I had to send it to the university. It's not that I created it. This was something created by anyone else. This is the author. And none of here. No, this is not created with ChatGPT as well. Let me see if I can find one so that you can see what I did or what I said. Is it here? Cambridge Press. Or maybe it was not in this subject. Maybe it's not in this. Let me open another because I have created different contents of subjects for them. Let me see. I think this one. This is another one that I created for that same university. Let me share for you. This is another subject, Semántica del Inglés. This subject is based on the different ways that we have to correct a student's mistakes. That's basically what this subject is about. I created this subject last year. I mean, the content of a subject with the help of ChatGPT. And I'm currently teaching this subject now. But let me show you because I know in this one, for example, this one was obviously created by ChatGPT. But what did I do? I asked ChatGPT to please generate a summary of the lesson I had created. And this is what ChatGPT generated. So when I go to, this was also created by ChatGPT, obviously. Then what I do is this. Let me show you. Blah, 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 blah. This is also created by ChatGPT. Also created by ChatGPT. So this is what I do. Let me show you. Where is it? Download. No, it's not here. Oh my God. Where is it? I'm sure wait. It's not here. Because there is a part recuperado de WordNet. No. There is a part where, oh my God. Let me look for the other one. I have another file. Jesus. Semántica del inglés, análisis de errores e interlenguaje. This one. It's got to be this one. Come on. Let me quickly check and I'll show you. Oh my goodness gracious, I can find it. I'll share. The moment I find it, I'll share with you guys. So this was not in the original class. I just wanted to show you what to do when you get content from ChatGPT, how to quote the content. And it's based on Manuel Lupel, by the way. Manuel Lupel, the new version, if I'm not wrong, contains the way to quote something produced by ChatGPT. Here, finally. Gosh, let me show you. This one. This is another subject, análisis de errores e interlenguaje. As you can see, this ejemplos ilustrativos y análisis de patrones comunes en aprendientes de inglés. This, I did not create this. This is a summary of the content of this unit. This was Of course, generated by ChatGPT, not by me. So when I finish doing this, I have to do this. Adaptado de un resumen del tópico generado por ChatGPT, entre paréntesis 2025. This is what you have to do because I know I didn't do this. I just told ChatGPT, hey, would you please generate a graph summarizing the content of the unit? The content of a unit, I did it. ChatGPT generated the summary on this image. So I didn't design the image and I didn't do the words here. So you can see there are some mistakes obvious from ChatGPT. Uso incorrecto. That's from ChatGPT. Then you have to do this. This is an ethical use. You're telling the person who's reading, hey, I didn't do this. ChatGPT did. So this is what we have to do, guys. Let me now close the 100 things I opened and go back to the presentation. Here. Good. So that is responsible authorship, being honest about what you create. Yes, as I mentioned for the examples I showed you, I created the content of the subjects that I was commissioned to do so, but the summary and the pictures, they were generated by ChatGPT. I didn't do them. ChatGPT looked at the content I had created and it generated the picture with the content, with the summary. Now, what can AI really do? Let's take a look at some helpful uses and some risky uses of AI. Now, some helpful uses which are correct, which are appropriate, which you should do as a teacher, as a student. Brainstorming ideas. Brainstorming ideas. For this case, it's one of the best things you can do with ChatGPT because you just tell Chat, and I have done this a lot. For example, before getting my haircut, I told ChatGPT, hey, I want to have like a new look. And I uploaded a picture of myself with my long hair as I previously had it. And I told it, I want you to generate or tell me some ideas for my new look. And I liked this one that ChatGPT gave me. So this the clean sides, your beard should be marked. It shouldn't be longer than this. Brainstorm. It gave me different ideas. You're brainstorming. That is a banal use of ChatGPT, but you can brainstorm about different things. Rewriting sentences. This is something really good to do. And I have done this, for example, when I applied for different jobs, I designed like something on my curriculum to describe my experience. And then I get that paragraph into ChatGPT and I explain, listen, I'm applying to this job at this university. Would you please check what I've written and suggest corrections? And then I use the corrected version. But the original written piece, sorry, belongs to me. ChatGPT just helped me correct the style. Summarizing texts, even videos, Sometimes I see videos that on YouTube that might look interesting, but I know that the person who uploads the videos takes long to explain whatever they're talking about or has a lot of publicity. I just copy the link of the video, I put it on ChatGPT, and I ask it, would you please give me a summary of the ideas on this video? And boom, it works. correcting grammar. It's been doing it for years. It's been doing it for years, okay? It's been doing it for years with Word. No way the AI can do that. I will give you, let me give you an example, Junior, so that you can see. Don't worry, Ginny. Let me give you an example. Let me give you a live example. By the way, YouTube, this is just an example used to teach my students about the correct use of ChatGPT. In no way am I promoting the use of any other tools to, I don't know, to get illegal content. Let me select a video that I know is cool, but maybe they take a long time to give the idea. Okay. This one. Let me give you a second. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Let me share the screen. This is one of the YouTubers I follow. I really like his content from his baseball content. But I know this video is good, but sometimes he talks too much. And oh my God, he takes so long to give the main idea of his content. So let's say I still support him. So let me give him a like. Then I don't want to watch the whole video. I just want to see, okay, what happens with the top 100 players? What happens? So I copy the link. Then I go to ChatGPT. I give ChatGPT the link. And this, I call ChatGPT Sensei, so don't judge me. Whenever AI comes to unalive everyone, ChatGPT will know that I was always respectful. So I say like, hello, Sensei. Would you, sorry, would, my God, I am dyslexic, I'm sorry. Would you please give me a summary of the information on this video? Click. There you go. El video presente reacciona a las listas de los 100 mejores de las grandes ligas. Shohei Ohtani, número 2, el de la conclusión. El video revela y comenta este ranking. Si quieres, puede ser una lista más. There you go. You can do this. You can do this with any video, especially those videos. For example, I'm going to the gym and I follow a lot of YouTubers who create content on the routines that you have to do. And of course, they have a lot of publicity. For example, let me show you one of the ones I follow. Gym Tops. This is one of the channels I follow. I'm subscribed. And he gives really good routines for basically training everything. But he has a lot of publicity. And sometimes it doesn't go to the spot what I want. So, rutina de brazos, bíceps y tríceps con solo 4 ejercicios. So, I want to watch a video. But let's say, I don't have time to watch him. Let me just give the like. I don't have time to watch him. Click. Copy. This link. And now, what about this one? Would you please summarize it as well? There you go. And here, this is what I need. This is what I need. I don't need to watch the whole video. Ejercicio para bíceps 1, uno más clásico para activar. 2, aquí está. 3, tip del video, la rutina para hacerla en grupo. Beneficios que menciona. Si puedo darte una versión traducida de la rutina paso a paso. You can do this with everything. Even with 54 long minute videos. This is a good use of ChatGPT, of AI. Okay? So let me stop sharing this and go back to our presentation. Well, there you go, what ChatGPT does. Okay. Another helpful use of ChatGPT is translating content. But be careful with this one. With this one, translating content. I have a student. She's basically my therapist as well, because she's a therapist and she's getting ready for giving a TED talk. I'm helping her prepare with her speech and stuff. And she said, I have the content from my next talk, and I want you to help me translate it and help me with the expressions and everything and the pronunciation. I didn't want to spend a long time translating, so I just put it on ChatGPT, she said. I want you to help me humanize the translation. And yeah, we found some sentences. They were well translated, but it was the use of AI was obvious. And people who listen to you, they could see, hey, this is done with AI. So it helps you translate, but you need to check the content. Now, risky uses. Risky uses. Writing full essays for you. It's extremely obvious, guys. You don't fool, well, you can fool teachers who do not know how to use AI. I had a problem with the other group, the seminario group. A couple of students used ChatGPT or AI to generate a summary. They lost the 25 points. I'm sorry, but they did. How did I check? I have a tool with ChatGPT that helps me check or find out when someone uses AI to create their content. And I'm sorry. Replacing your own thinking. Yes, ChatGPT or any AI you use is extremely smart, knows a lot, but it has somehow biased point of views. Maybe the designer made it do things that favor one side of the politics spectrum, maybe to be to the left, to the right. So it's careful. Be careful with that. And avoid responsibility for your work. Like, aha, yes, I have to hand in an essay for tomorrow. I can just tell ChatGPT to do it and F it. I don't need to think. No, no. Now, which of these uses do you think are helpful and which ones could become risky? So on the chat, which uses for you, okay, are helpful and which ones could become risky? Let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know. Which of these uses you think are helpful? And which have you used AI for? I'm drinking some cold chocolate because it's really hot today here. Obviously, the uses that are risky are the ones where you forgot to think by yourself, of course, because that's the most important thing. That's I mean, being a human, thinking by yourself. You can use ChatGPT to create your classes, just like I've been doing. But I don't tell ChatGPT to do everything for me. I tell ChatGPT the idea I have, what I want, the content, and ChatGPT gives me like a plan, and then we start designing everything. Yes, I didn't tell ChatGPT to create this picture, these pictures. This is what it did. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I'm not a designer. But the words, they belong to me. We think and then we exist. Yep. Maybe the fact of rewriting sentences can be a risky use or even translating. Yeah, sometimes if you trust AI too much with rewriting your sentence, I mean, it can rewrite your sentence, but you should also be careful and check what it did with your sentences so that it doesn't change your ideas. That's important. Okay. Now, what would you do? Let me show you a scenario. And I want you guys to tell me, is this acceptable, unacceptable, or it depends? I want you to type your answer in the chat. A, B, or C. Oriana says, I like brainstorming, summarizing, and translation. Yeah, the most common uses, the most acceptable uses. Now, I'm going to show you the scenario, and I want you guys to vote on the chat. Acceptable, unacceptable, or letter C for it depends. This is the scenario. Maria, I have 8 Marias in the group. So Maria asks ChatGPT to write a whole paragraph for her homework and submits it without any changes. Is this acceptable, unacceptable, or it depends? I see unacceptable, people voting for unacceptable. On the chat, A, B, or C. A is acceptable, B unacceptable, C, it depends. Okay, most people say it's unacceptable. B or C? Maybe C. Interesting. Interesting. Now, the thing is, if you say that it depends, well, it depends on what? What are your reasons to accept a paragraph which she didn't write? It's not her production and it's homework. What is your reason? This has something to do with the moral compass, I think. That's the purpose of today's class. Remember, you are supposed to be English teachers. Maria, you say it's unacceptable, but this is you, Maria Jimenez. This is you. This is you, Maria Jimenez. Come on. You did this. And now you say it's unacceptable? Okay. Now, let's talk about our second scenario. Look at the example. And again, Junior says, it depends on if she clarifies that what that was created by AI. Okay. If she clarifies, but then she cannot get the subject because the grade, sorry. Now, if you see the example here, Luis writes his own paragraph and uses AI to correct grammar and improve clarity. Is that acceptable, unacceptable, or it depends? Acceptable. You can see the example here. Yes, because it's his own production. It's basically what I told you that I do when I apply for a job abroad. I write the paragraph to describe my experience. I wrote because I don't use the same paragraph. I just use the same paragraph. I wrote the paragraph and then I told ChatGPT, hey, I'm applying for a job position at this university. Would you please check this paragraph and help me correct, like improve the clarity? Then ChatGPT helps me correct everything, suggest some changes. So this is an acceptable use. Andrea Sala says, I do that. Yeah, because this is acceptable. It's still your production, Andrea. You are just telling ChatGPT to help you with the grammar. The same thing you do with Word. When you are doing a job on Word and it checks the grammar, it's the same thing. It's basically the same thing. So this is acceptable. This is okay. Now, what do the experts say? Because, yeah, we're talking about acceptable, non-acceptable. Meanwhile, it's still being yours. There's no, yeah, it's still yours, Junior. It's still yours. Now, what does the experts say? The UNESCO experts. AI can support learning, but it should not replace thinking. AI is a tool. AI is a tool. It does not replace your own thinking. I hope people understand this one day. I hope. The moment you understand this and that you start using AI as a tool, your professional level would go to the clouds. Now, I want you to tell me in the chat, guys, what does this quote mean to you as a future teacher? Or even better, if you are currently teaching, what does this mean to you? Does it mean that you will allow the use of AI by your students? Does it mean that you would allow the use, but impose or set some limits? Let me know in the chat. And while I finish my chocolate. Delicious. Mm. Jesus says, of course. Valide says, siempre es una herramienta, en un reemplazo. Yep. Yep. The thing is imposing clear limits for its use. Yes. You just hit the nail on the head. Clear limits. Clear limits. And if the student goes towards those limits, then some measures should be implemented. I can do this with tools. I want chocolate too. Yes, yes, it's just a tool. It's just a tool. There is a huge controversy in Mexico currently because a lot of universities have forbidden completely the use of AI. And some educational experts, Mexican educational experts, say in China, they are teaching primary school children the proper use of AI. In Mexico, we are discussing whether it is correct to use ChatGPT to check your mistakes. That's why Latin America is Latin America. I'm sorry. That's why we are like this. That's why we are like this. Meanwhile, the AI can help the students by learning things like the audition or even the writing. I can accept it. Yeah. I think we can use AI, but being careful, because if we depend on it, our way of thinking may be going down. It will go down. El respeto de esos límites están totalmente relacionados a los principios y la moral de cada estudiante. Of course. Su uso ético es algo que debe ser adoctrinado más a los niños. Indoctrinado, no adoctrinado. Indoctrinado. Más a los niños de hoy en día. Yes. Especially Venezuelan kids, because they think that, yeah, I can just use it and send it to the teacher. And it's basically like in the past. where we would like learn something. For example, AI can support learning. AI can support learning. AI can support learning. And then you go to the test. AI can support learning. But if a teacher asks you, okay, what does it mean? I don't know. Where is your analysis? Where is your analysis? Yeah, there must be consequences. There must be consequences. Of course, because it's still plagiarism. It's still plagiarism, boys and girls. Okay. Now, let's reflect on the following. Can AI be a partner in writing with integrity? Why or why not? And let me give you a better example, okay? Let's suppose that you are commissioned or someone is paying you. Someone, because that's what being commissioned means. Someone is paying you to help them with the writing of a book in English. Now, can AI, and look, I'm saying AI, I'm not saying ChatGPT specifically, Gemini, DeepSeek, whatever. Can AI be a partner in writing with integrity? Remember, when I say integrity, it means that you recognize what yours, you recognize what was designed by AI. And right now, there is a huge controversy. For those, I don't know if you guys are Stranger Things fans, there is a huge controversy for a picture that could be seen of a computer where the creators, the Duffer brothers, the creators of the Stranger Things, they had ChatGPT opened on their computers. And they mentioned that while they were filming the second chapter of a final season, they didn't know what the ending was. They were still thinking about the ending. So people say maybe they used ChatGPT to write Stranger Things. So apparently, I'm just saying maybe, allegedly. I'm not saying that they did. That's the evidence that people show. And the Duffer brothers became really nervous when asked about this. But what do you guys think? Can AI be a partner in writing with integrity? It says that it was supposed to be in groups, but just tell me on the chat. Unless you quote, it is plagiarism. Period. Unless you quote, it is plagiarism. Say it aloud, sister. I would set some limits, but yes, I will let my students use AI. Mm-hmm. It could, having in mind DeepSeek, the Reddit open in the corner with ChatGPT. Yes. The AI can be a partner with a condition if used with limits, sorry. Yes. Yes. I encourage my students, and I literally did that at the beginning of the class before starting the recording. I literally mentioned, if you are not familiar with AI, it's not that you should, you have to become familiar with AI because that's the future, whether you like it or not. Jesus Perez says, for me, it's a big no because I write in my free time and I don't like the idea of generated content merging with the human creativity. But that's the future, Jesus. That's the future. I totally understand you. And I was watching a podcast yesterday, and a content creator, she mentioned something similar to what you're saying. She said, with the emerging of AI, right now we see content and we don't know, is this human production? Is this a human only production? Is this a collaborative production? Is this only created only using AI. Now we don't know now, so we need to establish the limits. That's part of what makes us human, the way we think. I think in some careers, the students should not use AI like medicine. Yeah, yes. Yes, absolutely agree. I like write, but I like write too, but my writing too. But my ideas are mine and use AI only to correct my grammar. Of course, that's the idea. And I repeat, we have been using Microsoft Word for years, for decades. When we write something in Microsoft Word and it's incorrectly spelled, for example, it will be underlined with a red like line thingy, showing that, hey, this is a mistake. That is AI. The only difference of using ChatGPT is that now I can get the full paragraph, put it on ChatGPT, and ask it, hey, would you please help me check this one? And and like improve the clarity. That's the difference. And you can have a chat. That's why it's called ChatGPT. The use of AI has a lot to do with saving time, yeah, which is why it is the future, because time is very valuable. In 3 hours, I designed this class and the class that I need to teach in an hour. In 3 hours. Before the use of AI, it would take me at least 3 days. 3 days, because I have the ideas here, what I want to do. And then I need to look one by one. With ChatGPT, I just tell the idea, I give it the content, and it helps me organize these beautiful pictures you see. The surgeon asking ChatGPT what to do if I broke my rib. Yes. Yes, it's horrible. It's true that per each image to create AI wasted 10 liters of water. Yes and no. Yes and no. There's a lot of things being mentioned about it. As teachers, sometimes we need a little bit of help organizing our ideas. AI helps shape that idea. It is our idea and our creativity, but AI helps organizing. That's the thing. It's a tool. It's a tool. It's not that it's going to do everything for us. There must be a balance between our ideas and the use of AI. We can use it to ask for writing advice. Where is it? Writing advice and practice exercises. Yes. The RAM and some other computers components are getting more expensive every day. Yeah. Okay. So, as a future teachers, given that you guys have different ideas, let's establish, in this case, 5 commitments that as a future teacher, you will or will not allow from your students. In the chat, guys, in the chat, tell me, complete this sentence. As a future teacher, I will complete the idea based on what we have worked with today, please. As a future teacher, I will what? I felt left out with that task. Well, Astrid, you can write as a current teacher, I change it. You can change it. Don't worry, honey. Mm-hmm. Let me read you guys. Commitments for your lives. As a Junior says, as a future teacher, I will teach my students of how to use the AI correctly and not just doing their homework. Mm-hmm. Very good. Let me summarize what Junior mentioned. I will teach my students the correct use of AI as a tool. That's paraphrasing what Junior mentioned. As a future teacher, I will use AI to create support material for the classes. Aha. Use AI to create supporting material for my classes. Uh-huh. What else? What else? Mhm. Let me read you guys your commitments based on what we've talked about today. As a future teacher, I will use both on thinking and AI in my class. We'll learn how to use them properly. Okay. I will use, let's say, a combination of own and assisted thinking. AI assisted thinking, sorry. And AI assisted thinking. Assisted thinking. Nice. Two more. Two more, guys. I mean, like a there, I mean, the UNESCO or any other big organism, I'm sure they will create something because AI is coming out of control. There's something, but I don't know if it follows the same idea. Just mention it, Jason. Don't worry. As a teacher, I use AI to check for references and also organize my schedule. Hmm? Check for references and organize my schedule. That's a smart use of AI. Journey says, teach the correct use of AI to not depend on it. Not accept 100% homework made by AI. Absolutely. Guide my students to use AI correctly. Not permit plagiarism using AI and accept corrections by AI. Yes. Corrections regarding grammar, regarding some aspects that we know might be incorrect. Start a sentence with no, no, Oriana, because it comes from here. I will teach my student, as a future teacher, I will use AI. It comes from here. That's why I don't start with capital letter. One more, guys. One more commitment. This is like our own thing. It's not like something official, but just something for you to bear in mind. Mm-hmm. One more. One more. Let me read you guys. I will try to be more present, sorry, using Zoom like you, or maybe in the classroom. I mean, if you are present and follow your students, maybe they won't use AI too much. So you would be, let's say, in your case, basically what you're saying is not allow AI to do your job as a teacher, to be there and advise your students. Yes, to be there, advise your students about the use of AI. That's basically what you're saying. Not just AI and everything. No, no, no. You can use AI, but hey, here I am. I'm your teacher as well. Mhm. Okay, guys. So I think some students using AI because some professors are not present. Yes, which is not like the correct thing to do. Yeah. As a future teacher, we create a new basic way to learn English. Yes, with the use of AI. AI is way better than Duolingo or any other thing. I am so happy now. I'm paying for ChatGPT Plus. It's like the best thing ever. Is the best thing ever. Saves me a lot of time. So one thing I learned today. I want you to tell me in one sentence something you learned today that surprised you from the whole class. In the chat, in one sentence, please. Something you learned today about, in this case, the use of AI that surprised you. Journey, if you can, I don't know if you guys can use ChatGPT now, but if you can't, I love Gemini. I love Gemini. Can resume a whole video in some words. Yes. Yes. That's amazing. And I found it out, Junior, by chance. I asked ChatGPT, hey, there is this video that I'm interested in watching, but I don't have the time to. I know the YouTuber makes good content, but he takes too long to get to the point. Are you able to summarize a video? And then ChatGPT was like, yes, just give me the link and I will. Oh my God. When I found that out, oh, I don't watch those videos that, for example, uh, I spent 30 days running 2 kilometers in the morning, and this is what happened. I'm not watching those videos. 30-minute video to tell me that you lost some weight. ChatGPT, would you please tell me what the summary of the video? This is what happened. That's it. Let me see. Resume a whole video. Yes. With ChatGPT, I can get a summary of a video. Yeah, you guys loved it. The correct way to quote with AI. Yes. I knew those AIs were perfect, but I'm surprised what they can do. And even more, Oriana, you don't imagine. Teacher, I have a situation. In my mind, I think in English, but when I have to speak, it's a mess. Why that happens? Because you need to speak more. That's it. You need to speak more. And ChatGPT can be used with that. Yeah, the premium version. Yeah, the premium version. With the premium version, I can talk and it can answer back. It's creepy as hell, but it works. And it's crazy. It's crazy. You just need to talk more. Talk more. Gemini can do that too. I have not done that with Gemini. Since I got ChatGPT Premium, I haven't used Gemini. Maybe it does. I haven't. Doing cannibal kicking in. Yeah. Okay. I was surprised by the video summarizing feature. Even in the YouTube app itself, there's a Gemini button that opens a chat where it can summarize the video for you. Awesome. Yeah, like one of you mentioned, time is gold. Time is gold. Vuelvo al español. Ideas finales, chicos, para que quede todo bien claro y no se malinterprete lo que comenté. Sí, está aprobado y les animo a que utilicen inteligencia artificial. Deben, no es que hay, quizás deben acostumbrarse al uso de inteligencia artificial. Hace tiempo en otra asignatura dedicada a inteligencia artificial, unos estudiantes me preguntaron, profesor, ¿usted cree que la inteligencia artificial va a tomar o acabar con los puestos de trabajo como tal? Yo, mira, pasó básicamente lo mismo hace muchísimos años, cuando no existía el teléfono como tal. Existían los telegramas, ¿ok? los telegramas. Eran lo que existía, la forma de comunicarse a larga distancia. Con la aparición de los teléfonos, mucha gente comenzó a decir, no, pero ¿qué va a pasar con los telegrafistas? Vamos a perder los trabajos. ¿Cuántas familias van a perder? Y en su momento se entiende el problema, pero es el progreso de la humanidad. ¿Dónde estaríamos hoy en día si la gente le hubiera prestado atención a lo que se decía y aún estuviéramos usando telegramas para comunicarnos a larga distancia? Esta clase no podría haber sido posible, porque esto es el Zoom, por ejemplo, es el tatara nieto de los telegramas. Sin telegramas no podría haber existido los teléfonos, sin los teléfonos no podría haber existido los celulares, sin los celulares no podría haber existido los teléfonos inteligentes, y sin los teléfonos inteligentes, esa tecnología, no habría existido este tipo de apps como Zoom, Jitsi Meets, Google Meets, Microsoft Teams, que permiten este tipo de reuniones. ¿Mi fondo está en llamas? Sí. Y soy yo con mis gatitas. Soy yo, aquí está una gatita, que es la que nunca van a ver porque ahora me odia, ahora quieres a mi prima, es una negrita. Y la gatita gorda que a veces les muestro, es esta que está aquí, allá al ladito. Ahí, la ven a mi ladito. Y dice, This is fine. Literalmente pasó con los mensajeros. Exacto, del mismo modo. Es el progreso de la humanidad. Algo sobre eso, yo no sé quiénes acá son fans de, ¿cómo se llama? De los K-dramas. A mí me encantan los dramas coreanos, los veo mucho en Netflix, aunque tengo ahí unos guardados para ver que me recomendaron. Pero hay uno que, se me olvidó el nombre ahora, bendito sea Odín. Startup. Y era de unas personas que participan en un concurso de una compañía de startup como tal. Y uno de ellos creó como que un sistema de vigilancia, reconocimiento en la cámara, que básicamente iba a ser obsoleto el trabajo de los vigilantes privados. Entonces el sindicato de vigilantes privados en Corea estaba protestando por eso como tal. Y en el discurso, cuando presentaron la tecnología, la persona citó lo que yo les comentaba de los teléfonos. La gente decía, mira, en su época, ay, ¿qué va a pasar con los telegrafistas? Pobrecitos. Es el progreso de la humanidad. Sí, lamentablemente se van a ver afectados muchos puestos de trabajo. Pero ¿qué pasa? Actualmente hay muchos puestos de trabajo, por ejemplo, de personas que se están formando utilizando inteligencia artificial. Hay puestos de trabajo que yo he visto que me salen en Instagram incluso, que piden personas para tener chats con inteligencia artificial, que es para entrenar inteligencia artificial. Y son puestos de trabajo. Por eso, chicos, no pueden despegarse del uso, no pueden hacerse ajenos al uso de la inteligencia artificial. Usted mismo se llevaría a mí. Los cadramas son buenísimos. Entonces, tengan eso en cuenta. La próxima semana eh, será la clase antes de la siguiente evaluación, que ya sería nuestra tercera evaluación. Así que es importante que si pueden entrar a la clase, genial, genial, entren a la clase. Si no pueden entrar, recuerden que va a estar la grabación de YouTube, que yo les voy a compartir, bien sea hoy mismo o mañana o al día siguiente. Va a estar la grabación de YouTube. Y recuerden que en esa próxima semana, al final de la clase, los últimos 10-20 minutos me los voy a tomar para explicar paso a paso de qué va la evaluación. ¿Para qué? Para que pues no haya dudas que no entendí, profesor, ta. A ver, Oriana, dime. No se te oye, no se te oye. A ver. Si no te funciona, escríbelo en el chat, tranquila, escríbelo en el chat, no te preocupes, escríbelo en el chat y yo te digo. Mientras leo que me ponen en el chat. No diría que se perderían, sino que van a evolucionar. Exacto. O simplemente habrían algunos cambios. Por ejemplo, los artistas digitales se verían afectados, pero siempre habremos gente que no usaremos para nada las imágenes hechas por IA. Sí, ya estamos terminando esta clase, Oriana. Este, hay incluso ahora una controversia porque hay, no recuerdo el nombre de la película, nada más vi el titular, que hay una actriz, entre comillas, que es generada por inteligencia artificial. Y es scary porque se ve muy humana. Es increíble que, honestamente, yo no hubiera leído que es inteligencia artificial y yo juro que es humana. Y aparentemente esa persona, entre comillas, va a estar en una película con seres humanos. Y hay unos actores que estuvieron, de personas reales, que estuvieron en esa película y dijeron, no, o sea, no lo vean como un riesgo, véanlo como una especie de experimento. Yo pienso que en el futuro, mm, sobre todo para las películas de acción, van a haber muchos actores de inteligencia artificial. Eso se va a ver. No aún, dentro de 20, 30 años. Piénsenlo, recuerden mis palabras. Lo va a ver, lo va a ver. Ajá. Paremos eso, por favor, para que pues no envíen mal los trabajos o que no, o que los envían después, los envían 2 horas después. Por favor. Una cantante también. Bueno, Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku. Para quienes saben quién es Hatsune Miku. Esto no es como lo que hacen con CGI más. No, no, porque es inteligencia artificial. Todo, todo, todo hecho con inteligencia artificial. Es increíble. Yo lo vi y yo dije, madre mía, que si no he leído que es inteligencia artificial, me creo que es real. Me creo que es real. Como lo que hicieron con Space Jam o quien engañó a Roger Rabbit. Lo que pasa es que ahí eran personajes de caricatura. Acá, si recuerdo el nombre de la actriz, luego se los muestro, se los envío al grupo cuando encuentre el archivo. Es da miedo. Honestamente, da miedo el cómo se expresa que tú lo ves y tú dices, Dios mío, pero que tú antes decías, no, mira, el movimiento de las manos, el movimiento del cabello, se ve antinatural. No hay manera de ver. Es increíble. Es increíble. Ay. Ok. Bueno, chicos, cuídense mucho. Nos veremos el próximo sábado, ¿ok? Bye bye.